Why is it every time I boot up Street Fighter to just have in the background this stupid thing crashes? Oh, we're back with Bleach. Oh, die!
Oh, you crash?
I didn't crash. But we're here. Piece of shit. Yeah, so, Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War Episode 3. Unfortunately, the Ebert conspiracy isn't a conspiracy no longer. We know who he is now. Can you believe it, Donnie? Okay, so Ebert, for the couple of episodes he was here, was voiced by Andreas Beckett, who has been a bunch of ad voices in games, but his two named roles were Anton, Killzone Shadowfall. That's a dead IP if I've ever heard one. And Richter in Titanfall 2. Speaking of dead IPs. But yeah, he was also in ad voices in a bunch of Call of Duties, and everything he was in had to do with war, including this anime, which is the only anime I've seen him be in. How do you manage that?
Yes.
Whatever, we know who it is now. Also, someone asked, why didn't I say who, Urahara was? Some of the other... Guys, if it's obvious reprisals that we know are coming back, what is the point? We've already gone over them. Again, we knew Doug Erholz was going to be back as Urahara. He's still voicing regularly. So... yeah. Anyway...
No, they thought Studiopolis was gonna get into necromancy. Clearly.
Oh, yes, they got my Quincy back. They used the Ouija board. He's voice acting. Oh my god.
Man, who would have thought? Who would have thought a $5 children's board game would be cursed?
Yu-Gi-Oh? Wait, that's a card game. Whatever, let's get to Bleach this week. So, the majority of this episode is fights. And that's fun stuff. So
Why
the episode...
do you choose to fight?
The episode opens with Ichigo versus Quilge, who know they have not said his name yet, so until we hear otherwise, we're going to keep calling him that, because that's how it's spelled. As Nell comments saying she seems shocked that he managed to beat the Transvestia. That's Holly Bell's Frazione, but at first I could have sworn I thought she said transvestite. What? I'm sorry. That's what it sounded like to me.
Don't mind him, he's just himself.
Quilge reveals that Ichigo has been deemed a special threat and needs to be dealt with immediately. As we cut to the captain's meeting, and because someone brought it up, yes, Shunsui is still Steve Kramer. We know. Again, he's still voicing, so we had a feeling they were going to get him back. But yeah.
Exactly, he is Booze Man.
To Your Eternity's great. But yeah, so...
I mean...
What's up?
It doesn't help that Shunsui is also chronically drunk off the time.
He's the only captain that talks here besides Mayuri and Yamamoto, so we don't know who the rest of them are voiced by yet, but I'm pretty sure Karen is still going to be Soifod. Just saying, after she was just...
really?
Sun. But yeah, Yamamoto basically says the Quincy's claim they will be attacking in 5 days, but we have no reason to listen to the words of an enemy. And I don't know, for some reason he sounded off to me here. Maybe Kaplan was sick or something. It could just be me too, though. I don't know.
I think it was just you. Or maybe it's because you were struggling to hear it because the audio on Hulu's so fucking low.
Yeah, fuck you, Hulu. Get your shit together. Well... After that, Ichigo tosses Nell to Orihime. Yeah, get the hell out of here, shoulder lolly. As the fight between him and Quilge truly begins. And Ichigo says, like, your arrows or your attacks are powerful. In fact, they might even be stronger than Uryu's. Quilge knows who Uryu is and claims that seems hard to believe. What am I talking about? How do I know about this? Shit, I said too much. You'll find out later. Yeah.
Eventually.
But we can't have fun forever, as Quilge receives an order from an earpiece that Ichigo needs to be killed immediately. So this is when Quilge transforms into his true form. I mean, totally not the Quincy's version of a Bankai or Resurrection form. What are you talking about? So, yeah, actually, now we get to go over Quilge's abilities. So, what is his whole thing? What's his shtick?
I mean, besides the usual enhanced strength and stuff, and those, you said the appearance is what every one of them gets.
Yeah, the Quincy's transform states are called their holy forms. They're Volstandish, but
yeah,
they turn into fucking angels, guys.
Yeah, and he
fires
his arrow, and he fires his arrows with a rapier instead of using a bow. So there's that.
And one of his attacks is even roughly translated into English as God's Judgment. So I think you get their motif. He even has a halo and angel wings and everything. Angelic Nazi. Yeah, Quilge even looks like Hitler from what everyone is saying. So angelic Hitler. Something about what that sounds like doesn't make sense.
All he's missing is the fucking stash.
Well, while him and Ichigo get ready to throw down, cut to Yuha as he tells his men it's time to invade Soul Society, since Ichigo's more or less being kept occupied. And yeah, other Quincy's do talk here, but we don't know who they are yet. We can't even make educated guesses because they only make 1 or 2 sentences, so we're gonna have a lot of people to go over next episode.
And yet they decide to invade, but don't play invasion. 0 out of 10.
No, but they do remake a lot of songs from the old OST here. My favorite's the metal rendition of Hollowed. Well, as Ichigo and Quilge are fighting, Quilge reveals that Uryu's grandfather was a fool. He could never achieve a form like this, because he believed that this power was... blah, blah. You get the idea. As he calls his weapon Pisciel. Oh, see, it even ends in I-E-L, the whole angel motif. Do you guys get it? It's subtle.
Yeah. Subtle, too.
Well, before him and Ichigo's fight could continue, the Frazione are back, Hollybell's friends. And this time they have their monster Aeon with them. Or Ion, they keep going back and forth on the pronunciation. That's the monster where they all have to sacrifice their left arms to use, which... How do you keep getting left arms?
With how many arms get cut off in Bleach, it's probably a bargain bin sale.
Yeah. Well...
Buy 1, get 2 free.
Quilge's all like, please, this monster's pathetic. Even if it wasn't in the report... Oh, that actually did damage to me. Oh, shit. So, yeah. Cut to Uryu, as he's researching the history of Quincy's and looking more into it, because he believes the enemy might be Quincy's with what he was theorizing. Oh, hey, look, anime-only content that helps extend the plot and stuff with Uryu, so things make more sense. As Ryukin walks in, Uryu's daddy, and we have a replacement. This one, though, actually makes sense and isn't stupid like some of the other ones we've been covering. So Ryukin was voiced by Michael McConaughey, but he's kind of retired. That's sad.
Or mostly retired.
I think Seth from SF5 was his last known role. Could be wrong on that.
Yeah. And what is Seth to go on?
Well, Ryukin's new voice actor is Chris Swindle, who we just covered on Tiger and Bunny 2 as LL Aldoon.
So it's not really surprising. In fact, he's just using his LOL Dune voice for him.
Yeah, I think it sounds fine. He sounds a little older than Michael McConaughey's portrayal of him, which is ironic, because, like, hey, let's get a younger guy to replace the older voice actor or whatever. Yet the younger guy makes him sound even older. It's like, what the fuck happened here? Well, yeah. I guess you could argue, well, maybe Ryukin did age a little bit. It's been a couple years in show timeline since we've seen him. He tells Uryu to drop it, that this has nothing to do with him, as Uryu is angered about being dicked around. Ryukin says you're not going to find the answer here. Cut to Ryunosuke and Shino, the Soul Reaper duo, who are getting a lot more screen time than I thought they would, to be honest. As they're talking about Reapers and Quincy's and, you know, why they can't get along. What's the whole deal? As the Squad's 1360 member, Kajimaru, also voiced by Chris Swindle, yeah, we're really doing this, is going to tell them about the history of Quincy's and Soul Reapers. More or less going over what we already knew, though. Soul Reapers purify hollows, thus keeping balance, while Quincy's kill hollows, disrupting balance. Because if there's too many souls that are disappeared or destroyed, then it fucks up balance. So, I guess that's the whole reincarnation thing coming into play. If you die in Soul Society, you'll get reincarnated in the real world. Yeah, it's the endless cycle of death and rebirth. But if the soul's completely destroyed, so it can't be reborn again, it fucks up shit. He also tells them that the Soul Reapers did try compromising with the Soul Reapers 200 years ago, but the Quincy's would never listen, so the order came down to exterminatus the Quincy's.
Wait, the Soul Reaper is tried compromising with the Soul Reapers?
Yeah, I realized it after I said it. I realized that I said it. Caught me. No, they tried compromising with the Quincy's. I mean, would you be surprised, though? Soul Reapers have killed each other over dumbass reasons, so...
Yeah.
Cut back to Uryu as he finds Soken, his granddaddy's diary, and begins reading. Ryunosuke asks Kajimaru if the Soul Reapers are truly just, as Kajimaru replies, well, in a war, both sides believe themselves to be just, so it's complicated. It makes sense. It's a war thing. Cut to Yamamoto talking to Mayuri alone, as he reveals that he knows Mayuri is the one who expunged the souls, the 28,000 souls that went missing. You know, that village that Ikaku and Yumichika were going over. Mayuri explains it was to keep balance, because the Quincy's killed a shit ton of hollows, so naturally souls had to be erased from Soul Society, otherwise, you know, it could cause the destruction of the world if the balance is too fucked up. I think I've said the word balance.
Destruction of Waldo.
I've said the word balance more times in this last 5 minutes than I think I have in a while.
Oh. Well, at least your Wii balance will get in some work.
I hate you for referencing that. Mayuri admits he was prepped for this situation ever since Uryu infiltrated Soul Society as a Ryoka. And he thought this would happen. And Yamamoto should have expected this to happen ever since he avoided killing that man 1,000 years ago. I wonder if that's going to be relevant later. Back with Aeon and Quilge, Quilge reveals his true ultimate ability, absorbing Reishi, or power, into him.
And, so just a Quincy.
Yeah. He's disgusted that he has to absorb unclean energy into his body like this, but he absorbs Aeon into him. And he changes again! This time now he has a bitchin' slight filter on. That doesn't sound like shit.
Yeah. And one hell of an underbite.
Yeah, doesn't he have some of Aeon's characteristics now?
Yeah.
Oh. I like Xander's line, though, where he's like, all of you are going to die. The way he says that, you could just tell he's having fun with this role.
You're all going to die down here.
Yeah. He also tries doing it on the Frazione, too. And before Orihime can get hurt, Chad tries saving her. Yeah. Keep trying, buddy. But before worse shit can happen, Ichigo shows up in his Bankai state trying to break Quilge's halo, claiming that that's the source of all of his power. And Quilge more or less says, learning that won't help you. Cut back to Urahara running with Pesce and Don Chaka, which this one will bring up. Yes, he's still Pete Sepanok. Again, we're going to bring that up because I don't think he's voiced in anything at all. And they got him in to say one line. What?
Oh, I'm gonna type it in. I'll see what the last thing he was in. Go on.
Yeah. So, they keep the comedic shtick here. Speaking of the comedic shit being cut, yeah, Kubo more or less admitted in a recent interview he asked him to cut all the comedic stuff to keep a tone consistent since it's a war arc and people are going to keep dying. But after that, Uryu confronts his dad about the Vandenreich, as he now knows that there is more going on with the Quincy's history since he read his
He's in the
granddad's
Knights of Sidonia movie.
Oh, okay, and I was just dubbed recently. I guess he wasn't shit. Never mind then. Good for you, Mr. Pete. Well, Uryu ends up leaving angrily, as cut back to Soul Society as the Quincy's attack. And we see Renji and Rukia comment on it. Yeah, these two actually exist. 3 episodes in, we finally get them. Aren't you happy, Dai?
Yeah. Also, Kengan Ashura.
That anime is fucking awesome. I gotta show that anime to you at some point. Well, we're at the end of the episode now. Squad 3 is ready to fight, as another Quincy shows up wrecking their shit. This is the one named Basby, who's also voiced by Xander Mobus. Again. Guys, you really couldn't wait a little longer to start recycling?
No.
Well, Basby, really fucks Izuru's shit up. Yeah, Izuru's more or less killed here. Isn't he missing an arm and half his body?
An arm, other parts, part of a torso, also an arm.
Yeah. Cut to Hoshwald, which has been confirmed to be voiced by Robbie Damon. We were right. As if it's, hard to tell Robbie Damon. As he states, it's time for the Soul Reapers to be purged. The episode ends.
Get in line, buddy. Wait, what?
Yeah. Our preview this time is narrated by Hitsugaya, who's, yes, already been confirmed to still be Steve Staley, which, again, is fucking obvious. He's still voicing. Be kind of dumb if he wasn't. Hitsugaya.
I mean, I said that just confirms 2 people.
Oh, you're talking about Shuhei?
Yeah.
Well, as far as the major cut content, there was a lieutenant meeting earlier in these chapters where Izuru theorizes and finds out that Mayuri was the one behind the soul expunges. More or less, just showing Izuru is smarter than the average Soul Reaper, being able to figure that out on his own. That's the major thing they cut. But yeah, we adapted 6 chapters in this one episode. The one up, a lot of people think the pacing probably could have slowed down just a tiny bit. But there you go, I guess. Oh, our thoughts on Bleach Chapter 3. I don't know, I still really liked it. I still thought it was a fun episode. Ichigo and Quilge's fight.
I would like it better if Hulu had better audio, but that's a Hulu problem.
Yeah. Since we got the majority of Ichigo and Quilge's fight out of the way, I take it, Dai, you agree with everyone that the animation and choreography was really good with it. That's Pero do seem to be going all out with that shit. What?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they tried with the full ring arc, so they'd look silly if they didn't.
Yeah, that's true. It's just after, 10 years, you're like, you fucking better go all out, Pero. No cutting corners bullshit.
And since we'll probably be getting the other captain soon, place your bets on Shinji right now, guys.
Dude, Shinji, anime voiceover had Roger Craig Smith listed for him, but then it removed it a couple of hours later. It's like, wait, what? So
only for to put it back the next week.
Yeah, we'll find out. This next episode, we're getting a shit ton of captains and Quincy's as the fighting really gets ramped up. So
it does have a good chance since Sonic Frontiers was recorded out of Opolis.
Well, we'll see. Didn't notice any dub fuck-ups, and I think the replacement for Ryukin was fine. Chris Swindle at least does a different voice for both characters, so I'm not sure a casual would really pick up on it right away. since Kajimaru is a younger character.
I mean, maybe when they pan back and forth like that.
Yeah, that was kind of silly, especially when they're both talking about Quincy's. And Izuru's here, though. Izuru's dead. Yeah. You could pick your check up at the door, Grant George. You hear a voice like 2 sentences. As far as the other Squad 3 members, I don't know, they're fucking voiced by. Kind of irrelevant, too. Their shit got wrecked. Oh.
The seats don't matter. You don't matter as a seat unless
you're Squad 11.
Unless you're Squad 11, because your lieutenant is a mascot.
Yeah. Still a fun episode. Even though I do think, yeah, it was a little rushed in spots if you're familiar with the manga. But if you're anime only, I've seen people say like they didn't even mind that much. It's like, yeah, I guess. So. Next time, though, the fighting gets real. Let us know what you all thought of this episode and all that stuff. And will Holly Bell's voice actor ever be posted? Now we're on the Holly Bell conspiracy.
Okay, no one cares about someone who literally just said, like, 4 words.
But, Dai, she's a shark.
I'm sure they all seen your stupid video.
Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Hope your results great day. Join us next time for more Bleach. That was your Blood War. Till then. Ichigo!